Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series. Freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy, and peaceful life. Based upon 108 mantras to awaken your soul and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. My questions and God's answers. Today, series number 102. Power of supreme connection and surrender. Pranam to Guruji Hariharji Maharaj for his blessings and guidance. I am Satya Kalra, your host and founder of Path to Anandam. Blissful living with simple techniques which we discuss here, how to go beyond our anger, fear, and how to renunciate. And now, how to surrender it. Being a medical scientist, these teachings are based upon science and connecting with spirituality. And whatever you see on this page, it's all blessing and guidance of Guruji and Lord Krishna. How to connect, how to be connected with supreme power and surrender. It's based upon Gita's verses, chapter 18, 65 and 66. And we will cover today God, his Sakar or Nirakar Roop, duality or non-duality, supreme connection, mindfulness. How to do that? What is Dharma? We have spoken many times, but today the true meaning of Dharma will be repeated again, and the types of Dharmas, and how to connect and surrender. And what are the benefits of doing it? It's a God's promise that you have my infinite protection, and how to apply in our life with homework and with sankalpa that God is my savior. Vasudev Sarvam Iti. With meditation and question and answers. So let's all pray to God, just like Arjuna when he was confused, and how he got out of that confusion, that vishad, that fear, that worries, doubts, by humbly requesting and surrendering. Today is the main subject is surrender. So we start with surrendering, just like Arjuna. That how he surrendered. The very first question here. So let's all learn what is Dharma and how to surrender to his will, divine will. And get out of confusion. Like initially Arjuna says, Na Jyotasiti Govindam, I'm not going to engage in this Kurukshetra war, the field of action. And when Lord Krishna explained him, guided him step by step, that this is not a Kurukshetra, it is the Dharma Kshetra. So we are going to talk about more about Dharma today. So let's go pray to God and let's go on this blissful journey of self-purification, transformation, and uplifting our conscious level, where we recognize, we experience that I am Sat, Chit Ananda. Karpanye dosho pahat swabhava prashyami tvam dharma samuri chetaha yachasaisyani nishchitam brumi tanme shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all my composure and my mind is confused about my duty, my dharma. I am requesting you to tell me what is definitely good for me. Not what am I asking, what is definitely good for me. I am your disciple. I surrender to you. Please instruct me. So let's all surrender to supreme power and go on this blissful journey. So Hariharji Maharaj put Bhagavad Gita's teaching pertaining to particular subject in many different ways, different quotations. And this is all put together. That Gita is a step-by-step spiritual instruction manual to make God our companion. Give the reign of our life in his hands. अपनी बागडोर उनके हाथ में देनी है. And surrender to him and get his everlasting protection. The ultimate advice of Lord Krishna. He had given many advices, but now, today, is the ultimate advice. This is the last advice he is giving to Arjuna. Again, summarizing everything. So we are so fortunate that we have gone through this full journey, learning with Guruji's blessing that how to attain freedom from miseries and pains, moksha, liberation, and eternal happiness, peace, oneness, self-realization, Paramdham, his abode, whatever we want to name it, ultimate purpose is self-realization. Who am I? I am Satchit Ananda. While living in the material world, so we experience that while we are living and also beyond. Hariharji Maharaj, Pranam. And Lord Krishna, Pranam for bringing us together. So out of 700 verses, Bhagwan Ji spoke 574 verses. Chapter 1 to 6, Karma Yoga for active people is how to perform our duty. And then second part, chapter 7 to 12, Bhakti Yoga, how to perform the duty with love and devotion, and Vasudev Sarvam Iti, he is all. And now we are embarking on the journey of Jnana Yoga, where who is God? We have learned in chapter 13, creator and creation, and what is our relationship. So with this Jeev Atma, how it is related to Jagat and Jagdish. And in the same Jnana Yoga, our true nature, true knowledge. Now we are on the Moksha Sannyas Yoga. And we are on the verse 65 and 66. So each layer of our ignorance, just like onion, have been peeled off. And we are now the ultimate essence of Bhagavad Gita and ourselves and God. So this is the ultimate summary of Gita. Union with God or self-realization. Union with God means duality. God is there, I am here, and we are how I experience, just like Meera. And then self-realization. Who am I? Beyond is the non-duality part. But it doesn't matter, whatever it is, it's all self-purification going beyond the 5+2 enemies through Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and following, going from beyond our gunas, and ultimately we reach to prasad. So from Vishad to prasad, here we are at this level now. Here is the today is the prasad day. So path of renunciation and surrender. So union with God, liberation through the path of renunciation and surrender. Sannyasa and surrender. Because Bhagavad Gita is a royal road to liberation. It is taking us from miseries to moksha. And the verse today is Manye mana bhav mad bhakto madhya ji man namaskaru mame veshyasi satyam te pratijano priyosi mein. Focus your mind on me. Live in me. Live in my consciousness. Be my devotee. Worship me. Offer your homage and service to me, and you will undoubtedly come to me. This is my promise to you, because you are my very dear friend. This is the verse was given to me by Hariharji Maharaj. One time he was, many years ago, very first time when I met him, he came and people were requesting him that we want to do a Gita conference here. And he said, okay, bring Gita verses, one verse on one page. I will distribute those to people. And when we complete that, then we can have the conference. And this is the verse he had handed me at that time. So thank you, Guruji, for guiding me. But this verse said, be with me. I will be with you. This is his promise. Fix your mind on me. Man mana bhav mad bhakto. In other words, live in my consciousness. All the time we should live in mindfulness of supreme power. He's present. He's all around us. He's within us. He's outside of us. He's within us. And then Gita is our guide. Like Mahatma Gandhi. Not only he himself lived in that consciousness, he guided Martin Luther King and all other activists who freed their countries, where Gandhiji also helped to free the country through the non-violence. So they all were practicing non-violence. So similarly, we have to, whatever resonates with us, whatever qualities resonate with us, we can use that like Mahatma Gandhi, like surrender. We can just take the surrender. God will, divine will, which we learned last week. So we can practice on that one. Then he says, Matyaji Mam Namaskaram. He's saying, मेरे को नमस्कार करो. Now the question is, which God are we talking about? Which Krishna Bhagwanji are we talking about? Are the one who is just baby Krishna, Janmashtami, happy Janmashtami to all of you, because this is the Janmashtami day. So are we praying to that baby Krishna? Are we practicing to or praying to the Lord Krishna who is with the Bansuri, with the Radha, with the Gokul? Or we are with that Lord Krishna who has taught us Bhagavad Gita, showed us his Vishal Roop, or Vishnu, because he's the avatar of Vishnu. So it's many Vaishnavi and they say, no, I practice, I worship Vishnu Bhagwanji, not Krishna. Similarly, some people say, no, I practice Rama, not Krishna. They're all Vishnu's avatar. So which Bhagwanji are we talking about? This duality where we, right now, as I said, Janmashtami time, baby Krishna is coming tonight. And then Krishna Bhagwanji, the one we have his image, his photo, his murti, icons, where we worship. So where God is there, I am here. Duality. This is Meera. Meera did, and actually you go to Vrindavan, a lot of people there, they have the baby Krishna in that small platform, and they carry. Some people carry on their back, some people carry in their hands, but everywhere you see that people are walking with it. And then non-duality form. Here Krishna Bhagwan is talking about Purushottama. He had taught us that I am the Purushottama. I am everything in the universe is my ansh. I am in the ansh in every particle, in every situation, kan kan mein, chan chan mein. So he's talking about that Vishal Shakti, not just who is sitting just in the temples, who is sitting there. There, of course, he's talking about that because we feel him there. But at the same time, he's limited to only that geographical location, not just in Vrindavan, not in Mathura, not in just in our temples. He's talking about his presence in Kan Kan and Chan Chan mein. So that's the non-duality part. He says the Vishal Roop. Vishal Roop means, which remember, he showed us everywhere. In the Rakshas, in the humans, in the birds, in the small animal, mosquitoes, everywhere. So he's talking about that Vishal non-duality Shakti, which has created the whole creation, our Jivatma. So he's talking about that Jagdish, who is the owner. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm the mother, father, I'm in everything. So he's speaking about that Krishna. And be devoted to me. In Mam Namaskaram. Cultivate the divine love for all. See God everywhere, not just superficial rituality. Like Meera was holding him in his hands, in his heart, in her consciousness, everywhere she was holding him. We have to live in that kind of mindfulness and have that love and devotion, not just for him, but his whole creation, because he's in every human being and everywhere. So in other words, no resentment, no hatred. Fill your heart with love. And then sacrifice to me, selfless service. Perform your prescribed duty and offer all action to divine power. This is where he's talking about Mame Veshyasi Satyam Te Pratijano Priyosi Me and Mam Namaskaru. How we do the namaskar to God. Not just only with folded hands, but any action we offer to him. That's our way of doing namaskar to him. And I put my favorite one, Modi ji. He's truly, to me, he is the renunciate. We can all agree on that part. And there are many, many other people in this world which we might know and which we might not know, doing their action and surrendering to God, offering to God. And then he says, bow down to me, surrender to me. In other words, we should be very humble. So he says, just come to me. I will take care of you. So now his promise that pratijano priyosi me, mame veshyasi satyam te pratijano priyosi me. That this is my promise to you. You will come to me because you are my dear friend. So how can we become his beloved? We have learned in chapter 12. So now this is a summary. He is just throwing his phrases here and there, but there is all what we have learned in chapter 12, how to become his most dearest one. So now the question comes. Initially he said dharma, and then he says surrender. Now how to surrender? So he says sarva dharman paritajyam, mamekam sharanam braj, aham tvam sarpapebhyo, mokshashyami ma shucha. Sarva papebhyo. Arjuna was confused. He thought he would, it was, in his opinion, it was the Kurukshetra, field of action. So whatever he will do there, he may incur sins, he may kill others, he may hurt others, and wo paap ka bhagi banega. But here Bhagwan Ji says, no. He takes him to the whole journey and he tells him that I will take care of you. Aham tvam sarpapebhyo. I will free you from all the sins. This is my promise to you. But prior to that, he says, sarva dharman paritajya. Abandoned all type of religion. And based on that, this is the most misinterpreted verse by many, 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 many. You have heard it, I have heard it. Bhagwan Ji says, leave all the religions. And this is where the whole Bhagavad Gita is known as Dharma Shastra, Moksha Shastra. So how could Bhagwan Ji say that leave all the dharmas? Because the very first verse starts with Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, field of action, how to, from field of action to Dharma Kshetra, follow your dharma. And he himself says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bharat bhavti bharata abhyusthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shajamyaham. I come here to establish the dharma. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkratam dharma sthapnarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So he says over and over and over, whole Bhagavad Gita talks about dharma. Then how could he say that sarva dharman paritajyam, abandon all types of religion? And this is where we need to really understand what truly dharma is. So what is dharma? He explains many times that dharma is not which is the, here it says that your prescribed duty followed with codes of ethics as scriptures advises. So righteous action, action with love and compassion and know-how, sarva bhutite rata. And he says, yoga karmesu koshlam, whatever activity you do. So he says over and over that our duty, prescribed duty, told Arjuna many times, you are Kshatriya, your duty is to protect the society. That's your dharma. That is your duty. So dharma is not just a man-made religion where they are made by people, and when people are involved, there is an ego involved. You take any dharma, you name it any dharma, meant for protecting the society, for benefiting the society, but where it has taken to the point where some religion consider that our religion is better than others. But the true religion is, true dharma is, Satya Sai Baba says, dharma in love, in action. So any karma, when we put our love, compassion, like karma yoga, what is karma yoga? Action with love and compassion, with know-how. How should I do it? For the benefit of all. Sarva bhutite rata. That is the true karma. That is our karma dharma. So how we can convert our karma into dharma, or Kurukshetra into Dharmashetra? Put our duty from our heart, connect our soul with it, and do it with full-fledged, not just a half-hearted. And keep the society, not the selfishness, but the selflessness, benefit for all. So now, question comes, what is my dharma? Dharma of my Atma, Swadharma. Swa means self. Self has two meanings. Self means me with the body, and another self with the bigger S is self-realization, God realization, my true nature. There's the supreme dharma. So what is this Satya's small body's dharma? Is to connect with the self-realization, with the Swadharma, with the supreme dharma. So first we have learned that what is the nature of Atma. All the divine qualities we learn. Satya, Ahimsa, Abhay, Satya, Samsudhir, Jnana, Yoga. All those what we had learned. Then we had learned 39 qualities. Adveshta, Sarva, Adveshta, Santushti, Anapeksha. All those qualities we have learned. Those qualities are the true nature of Atma. But if I can summarize it, the nature of Atma is unity. When we unite with others, how we feel, when we love with others, how we feel so peaceful, we feel so happy, we truly feel Satchit Ananda. That is the true nature of Atma. This is the true dharma of Atma. So we have to perform that dharma. But does not mean that we should not take care of our body. We have to take care of this dharma. That is dharma, our duty to take care of myself and my responsibilities. But selflessly. It's not that I'm spending all that time on my body. I have to do it whatever is necessary to do it, but not going beyond my limit. And then, now the bigger dharma is being happy and peaceful and spreading the same to others. In other words, making this world peaceful place to live in that is my dharma. That is my duty. So duty toward my body, toward the others, toward the society, that is my duty. That is the true dharma. So self-realization is the ultimate duty. That is my ultimate dharma. Knowing my true nature, that I am Satchit Ananda. Doing the self-purification and self-transformation to reach to that level. That is my dharma. That is my body duty in this body. This is small Satya. But my true dharma is, my swadharma is to live in peace here and spread the peace to others. That is my true dharma. So again, leave all dharma. In summary, body's dharma. Like sometimes it is also mentioned is that we spend too much time on the rituals and all that. So Bhagwan Ji says, focus on love, peace, Anandam, who you are. Do the rituals. Rituals are take us. This is the first step, like we are in kindergarten, but go beyond, experience me in you. So all these I-ness and my-ness that come to me, he says, just remove that, just come to me. In other words, from Jiva Atma, through performing the actions, selfless actions in this Jagat, then go to Jagdish, merge with Paramatma. So now, also he said, come to me. Surrender to me. Mamekam Sharanam Braj. So what does he mean? He simply says, Sir under. Sir means head, I-ness and my-ness. Ko chhod do. Ego and attachment. Practice renunciation. So we should not just surrender. And we do surrender. When we have become helpless, like there is a certain situations when it comes at death, when then we say, Bhagwan ki marzi hamara kuch nahi hai. Then we surrender to his will. But there's a conditional surrender. We surrender to the bankers, to the bank for paying our mortgages. We surrender to our bosses. We surrender to certain time. We have certain kind of elements, physical problems. We says, okay, Bhagwan ki marzi hai. We go to the doctor, we do everything, but it's still, we talk about Jaisi Bhagwan ki marzi. Then we surrender to the God's will. And my favorite one is we surrender to the pilot when we are in the plane. We just sit there, very relaxed. Ki now we will reach wherever he's taking us to our destination. So we surrender in many different circumstances, sometimes helplessly, or many times helplessly, which is called conditional surrender. And he's not talking about that surrender. He's talking about unconditional surrender to God, to his divine will. So once we practice that, we live in his consciousness. Because he says, offer everything to me, to my will. And again, I put it here, Swamiji's, Hari kare so khari. Why worry? Give all to the God. Give all to Bhagavad Gita. It will guide us. So unconditional surrender is the ultimate path to attain liberation. Here, life and death, cycle, birth and death. This is how we can go beyond the birth and death by surrendering and experiencing the true love, peace and Anandam. So surrender. And here Bhagwan Ji says, then I will aham tvam sarpapebhyo moksha shami ma shucha. Don't worry. I am here for you. So once you surrender, my grace will come to you. You will come to supreme abode, liberation. In other words, manmani chhod do. Don't just be slave of our mind. We have learned that in chapter 6 also. And we have talked about very extensively on that part. So manmani chhod do. I-ness, minus chhod do. And then you and I will become one. So here how to practice it. Again, God is my savior. Through renunciation and surrender to God and let go, then we can go beyond the miseries. So I emphasize that here in the morning, we have to set our trend of the day. In other words, become mindfulness from the morning. And once we start mindfulness in the morning, our whole day, not only the whole day, even in the dreams, even in the when we get up, all those mantras are going in our system. So if we cannot read the full Bhagavad Gita, full chapter, Swamiji just told me at that time that just read 3 verses or even a 1 word of Bhagavad Gita, 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 Tyag, Tyag, Tyag. Renunciation comes automatically. And then take care of our body with yoga, exercises, and connect ourselves, our breath with pranic energy by doing pranayama, meditation, prayers. But then during the day, take one thing at a time. What am I going to surrender today? Just practicing surrendering. What are my ego? What part of the ego I'm going to surrender to God? What part of my attachment I'm going to surrender to God? Let go what kind of anger, what kind of expectations, what kind of discouragement, what kind of fear, what kind of resentment. What am I going to surrender to God? Because many times we have no control. Those thoughts keep coming. Then just say, Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havir, Brahma Agnayo, Brahma Hutam, Brahmev Ten Ganantam. Like our body is Havan Kund. Let's throw everything in the form of surrender. So everything we surrender, that is a ahuti to that yagna. So continue to give those ahutis. And again, I put it here. Manmani chhod de. Manmani kiski? I-ness and minus ki. And once we do that, then our divine will, we are with divine will. This is, I put it summary from very beginning of this chapter. That how we can balance beyond our limitations through karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and then finally surrender to God's will. And then we reach to supreme place, Paramdham, liberation, moksha, self-realization, realizing my true nature. So practice, not just the day, but in the evening. Evaluate, where am I? What more practices I need to do? Continue. Basically, it gives us the path to continue. It motivates us to continue and be on the path of sadhana. And then at night, as I said before going to bed, again, sarva dharman paritajya mamekam sharanam braj. Aham tvam sarvapebhyo moksha shami ma shucha. We should always remember his promise. He's saying, don't worry. I am with you. Why worry? So homework. Swadhyaya Abhyasam. Be witness. Live in the consciousness of supreme power, awareness, and ask that question again. Do I have my supreme goal of self-realization? Do I live in God's consciousness, awareness? Kan kan mein do I see and feel God everywhere? Do I know my dharma? Do I know what is my duty? Do I surrender to God's will? And my spiritual practices, mindfulness, meditation, karam yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, see God everywhere. Do I do that? Do I fulfill my duty without any expectation, selflessly? Karmanya vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachan. Ma karma phal hetu bhurmate sango astu karmani. Do I remember that? And here it says, continuously ask this question, these questions, because asking this question, we are not doubting. We are just self-inquiring. Where once we self-inquire, then once we know what needs to be done, then we continue on that path. And that's why one thing at a time, which is that thing that comes from self-inquiring. So continue on the path of self-improvement until we reach there. As Vivekananda said, arise, awake, stop, not until goal is reached. So again, here I put it here. Do your best and let go. Let go, let go, let go of all of our egos, minus, of best, whatever we perform, just offer to God. And then God and I become one. So our sankalpa is, I surrender to God. Hari kare so khari. Why worry? Live with God's will and follow Bhagavad Gita's teaching. Because don't worry, have patience, because only 1 in thousands are that fortunate who come on this path, and you are one of them. We are all one of them. So our sankalpa, that I surrender to God, it has so much power that sankalp prabhavan, karma, kamasya tattva, our worldly desire, leave the worldly desires, sankalpas. They are important to get the job done, but our supreme sankalpa is Hari kare so khari vaibari. I surrender to God. And then, little by little, shanai shanai uppar med, tudya agrati grahita, atma sanstam mana kratvana kinchit api chintet. When we live in that mindfulness, not being slaved by our senses, but manse indriya gramam, vinyamam samasta, completely focusing our mind, buddhi, on supreme power. Then, little by little, this seed will sprout into fruits with the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And we will realize who we are. We are Sat Chit Ananda. We are that happy, healthy, and peaceful individuals. That is the true Sabhava of Atma. That is the Dharma of Atma. And that is my Dharma. So my small Dharma becomes the self-Dharma into the supreme Dharma. So our sankalpa is, I surrender to God, and through sankalpa and through renunciation, I reach to the supreme power. God and I become one. So thank you very much for surrendering to God's will and also to supreme power, and learn freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy, and peaceful life.